Hi, my name is Tina White, and I'm the director of the Young Inventors Program at the Academy of Applied Science. Today, I'm here with Thomas, and we're glad that you're participating in your summer reading program at the library. We've teamed up with your librarian to create some cool STEM activities for you to do this summer, and we think they're a lot of fun. So keep watching this video, and we'll show you what you need, what to do, and we'll talk about some of the science going on so that you can continue to explore at home. And don't worry if we go too fast in this video. Thomas, what can our friends do if they need to slow down?
Pause the video.
Pause to stop. Just press pause until you catch up, and then when you're ready to move on, hit play again. Along with this video, your library should also have given you a copy of a written activity plan so that you can download it at home. This plan is just written in version of what we'll show you today in our video. And you can also download the lab notes worksheet that goes along with this activity to help you along the way. So are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Let's go. Have you ever wondered why some pennies are shiny and some are really dirty and dull? It's not just a matter of how old the pennies are or even how dirty they might be. Chemical reactions are responsible for the change in the penny's appearance over time. Today we're going to examine chemical reactions to see how oxygen can cause pennies to turn different colors. Before you begin, it's important to understand a little bit of chemistry behind the chemical reactions. Everything around you is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Some things are made of just one kind of atom. The copper in a penny, for example, is made up of copper atoms. But sometimes atoms of different kinds join to make molecules. And when different atoms combine to make a molecule, it's called a chemical reaction.
What is a molecule?
A molecule is a group of atoms that come together. Copper atoms can combine with oxygen atoms from the air to make a molecule called copper oxide. Copper oxide is a brownish or sometimes black in color, depending on other things that might be in the penny's environment. The pennies look dull and dirty because they're covered with copper oxide, not because they're covered in dirt. To dig into the chemistry of this activity, we'll go even further. Each individual atom is made up of smaller particles, electrons, protons, and neutrons. These are called subatomic particles, and at the center of each atom is a nucleus. Protons carry a positive electrical charge, while neutrons carry no electrical charge, and electrons carry a negative charge. In the chemical reaction between copper and oxygen, electrons in the atoms move around. In this case, when the oxygen is added, the negative electrons in the copper move to the oxygen. This transfer of electrons is called oxidation. Oxidation is the loss of electrons, and when the copper bonds with oxygen, it forms copper oxide. The copper has lost some electrons, while the oxygen has gained some electrons. Copper changes color when it's oxidized. So today, we're going to make dull pennies shine, and we're also going to watch as pennies turn a cool green-blue color, all because of chemical reactions. So now it's time to gather the materials that you need for this challenge. You'll need 3 or more dull or dirty looking pennies. You'll need some white vinegar, salt, paper towel or cotton cloths, a non-metal bowl, so it could be an empty yogurt container or maybe a Tupperware or a glass container you might have at home, and a small non-metal container with a lid. There we go.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Great. And a watch, a stopwatch or a timer. And then, if you want to keep playing, you could try with lots of other different acids, maybe some lemon juice, orange juice, ketchup, soy sauce, hot sauce. Try all sorts of different things to see what happens on your own. If you want to pause the video now to get your materials, go ahead and do that. Just click play when you're ready to begin again. So we're going to do today's activity, Robin Hood's Riches, in 2 parts. In part 1, we'll make a dull penny turn shiny. And then in part 2, we'll make the shiny penny turn a green-blue color. So let's get going for part 1. So first, we're going to, and Thomas, why don't you demonstrate for us? You're going to take 1/4 cup white vinegar. Measuring cups may help as well. All right, let's put the lid on because vinegar is stinky. Pour that in. Can you stir that together to mix it?
With this spoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Stir to dissolve. Now, what I want you to do is put some dirty pennies. We're going to leave them for 30 seconds. So can you time yourself for 30 seconds?
Wait, can I put them in first?
That's enough.
Okay, okay. Why not?
Put them in.
Okay.
You can't really see, but there they are.
Yeah, they're getting cleaner.
So after 30 seconds, we're going to
What
take
30
our
seconds?
pennies out of the container.
And see. Oh, can I take one out?
We're going to rinse them off real quick. Paper towel.
Sorry. Oh, wow. They're cleaner than a...
Rinse them off. Wow.
Voila.
And now we have a clean, shiny penny. So what happened? Pennies are made of copper or zinc.
Zinc.
Copper and zinc.
Oh.
So when copper reacts with oxygen, copper oxide is formed. So when pennies sit out in the air for a long time, copper oxide builds up on the surface and makes the pennies look dirty and dull. Vinegar is acetic acid. And when acetic acid mixes with salt, which is sodium chloride, new chemicals called sodium acetate and hydrogen chloride are made. These chemicals break down the copper oxide on the pennies so that they're back to shiny and new again. All right, so we'll go on to part 2. All right, ready for part 2. Now we're going to make our shiny pennies, blue and green. So first, you're going to take a paper towel and fold it so that it'll fit inside your container with the lid. Then we're going to just make it a little damp with vinegar. So be careful, you don't want to make it soaked. Hold it on the top, good. Tip it over just a little bit. You may need to do it a couple times to kind of so that the vinegar gets all over the paper towel, but not soaking it. All right, good job. Fold the paper towel and put it in the bottom. So you have a wet paper towel with vinegar in the bottom of your jar with a glass lid. Now, take a penny, put it on top of the paper, put the lid on. And now the lid's going to help keep the vinegar from drying out. So this is going to be one experiment to test. Now, what I'd also like you to do, you're going to take and put a penny, dip a penny into your salt and vinegar mixture from before. Just dip it in, get it wet. And then you're going to leave it just out on a dry paper towel, maybe that you folded next to your jar. Put it there, dip it in the original and the salt and vinegar mixture. Good. Leave it out on your paper towel. So now we're gonna wait, and you're gonna observe your pennies after 1 hour, after 2 hours, after 3 hours, and after 8 hours. And you can use your lab notes worksheet to help you make a track of what your pennies look like after those amounts of time. So keep your watches handy. You don't have to time yourself exactly. If you watch at about maybe 6 hours, 7 hours, that's okay. But you want to see what happens over time. Leave them out overnight as well and see what your pennies look like in the morning. So what's going on now? You learned earlier that pennies become dull and dirty when they sit in the air because the copper reacts with the oxygen to form copper oxide on the surface. When the vinegar and the salt dissolve the copper oxide layer, they make it easier for the copper atoms to bond with oxygen from the air and the chlorine from the salt, or the sodium chloride, to make a green-blue compound called malachite. This is why you may see old pennies that look kind of green or blue. We won't make you sit and watch what happens over the next few hours, but try this experiment with different acid and salt solutions, such as lemon juice and salt, or ketchup, or maybe even hot sauce.
Oh, yummy.
Dip other pennies in various mixtures of acids and salts and record your observations. Good luck and have fun. We'll see you next time.